Hey guys, welcome back to the Credit Game University podcast. I got another real special guest for you guys today. I got Uncle Mike here sitting right next to me with the Credit Game University. Hey, welcome, Mike.
Appreciate having me, man. I'm looking to drop some serious bombs on you today.
Awesome. All right, so Mike, I'm going to get right down and dirty with it, man. 15 million in 15 months. That's $1 million per month. In COVID, tell me how you made this happen.
That's actually $1.3 million per month. Let me tell you how that happened. So through COVID, Brock, there's I got a little intel from my mentor who said, look, if you don't play the digital game, you're going to lose. And I knew that everybody was going online. I knew that people were getting taken off of like their employment, right? They didn't know where they were going to go. COVID hit. So I knew that people were going home. I knew that they didn't know when they were going back to work. I knew that people were scared. So where do people go when they're scared, when they're at home, and they don't know what their next move is? They decided that they were going to go online to try to make money, because whenever you don't know what your job is or your employment's going to be, the next thing you want to do is figure out, how can I make money? So I got some intel. And currently right now, and I'm going to tell you guys, if you're listening to this or watching this, whatever, the most important thing you can do is catch a wave before a wave crashes. So when I started the credit game back in February 2020, I didn't know that it was going to be this big, where people were going to actually go to digital courses and going online to make money. I just got some data showing that over the next 4 years, 625% increase in digital courses. So what I did was I tapped into the scared. I tapped into the hungry. I tapped into the people that didn't know. Hey, look, they didn't know. They didn't know where they were going to go. So they went online. And what I tapped into was people that had a need for credit, because no credit education has ever been taught in schools. No credit education was taught to me by my family. So I decided to go online and say, look, what if I taught the first ever revolutionary product that actually encompassed everything from beginner all the way to expert in credit? We had a need for it because it was never done before. And everybody was going online. So when you have everybody going online, coupled with something that's never came out before, now you have a massive need in the market. So what we did was we created it like a school platform. So from high school to associates to bachelor's to master's to PhD, all the way up to doctorate. Just like we never learned in schools, I put the format together like a school platform that would teach people, and they would elevate their education as each course goes by, completing that, moving to the next, completing that, move to the next. And so that is the birth of the credit game. And that started in March of 2020, right? Literally, Brock, COVID hit, credit game started within the same month.
Well, you got right on that.
Got right on it.
So I got to ask, Mike, I want to know a little bit more about your company, the Credit Game. So tell me a little bit of backstory.
Yeah. So I was in, let me go back. Psychology was my major. And so went to FSU for psychology, and then I worked for a matchmaking firm, and that company actually in 2007 decided they were moving to Charleston, South Carolina, and my family's here, and I was married and I had kids here, and I said, look, I don't want to move and uproot my family from schools and everything. Let me just start something here. And so I basically got laid off from matchmaking. That company moved to Charleston, South Carolina, and I decided to stay in Jacksonville. So I was unemployed. So I decided to get into the credit world, right? And so I actually went to my wife and said, hey, why don't we start researching things about credit? Because there's a lot of need for it. So the three things, if you want to be successful, is you need to tap into what they call blue ocean opportunities. And that is wealth, health, and relationships. So if you think about those three things, there's a need that never goes away. People always want to become more wealthy. People always want to become more healthy, and people always want to have the best relationship when it comes to their personal life and their relationship, intimate relationship. So if you can tap into those three, what I did was I segmented one of those and said, okay, cool. I went from the relationship business, but let me get into the wealth. Let me get into the finances. Let me get into the credit, because that's another opportunity that was never taught in schools, just like relationships. Like they don't teach you when you get out of school to here's how you get the perfect match. Here's how you find your wife or your husband or whatever the case is. They don't teach you that. You just go out and start going to bars and start going places to find someone.
Right. Make mistakes.
And you make a lot of mistakes. Same thing with credit. We get a credit card, we make mistakes, we screw it up. A lot of us, same way like me, I had a terrible credit score, 515. It's because I made a lot of mistakes. They never taught it in school. So I created the first ever platform that literally takes you through the process of credit all the way from, like I said, beginning of school all the way to the end of school. And I named them high school, associates, bachelor's, master's, PhD, and doctorate. And so those are the three things. If you stay within the realm of those things and then just niche down on those things, right? So instead of just saying credit course, now we're talking about a credit course that can help business owners that are looking to scale their business, who, maybe are looking for a line of credit or a credit card. Now we've just taken credit, right, a regular credit course, and we've niched it down multiple times. So now it's something you can sell for a higher value. So instead of selling a $200 course or a $49 course, now we can sell a course for $2,000 because it's to that specific person that we're actually looking for. And that's what you want to do for your courses in reference to being able to sell it for a higher amount, is actually start niching it down instead of keeping it so broad. Because I could sell a credit course for $49, right?
Well, yeah. Well, but you'd want to sell it for $2,000.
Right.
So that actually, I mean, when you're breaking down the costs, right? So a digital platform, which almost has no overhead besides what you initially put into it, the creation of the course. And we're talking about selling it for $2,000 a pop. I mean, when you're thinking about those price points, what does the average American make?
So the average American right now in the United States makes $52,000 a year. I'll give you an example. Put in 40 hours, $52,000, or essentially $1,000 a week, average income. Now, at a course, which right now the statistics show, and this is the data, that right now courses are going up 628% over the next 36 months. So over the next 3 years, you're talking about a 600% growth in online courses. Let me give you an example. So if I want to go into a course, right, this is the reason why people buy courses versus just Googling it, right? Everybody can Google information, right? So you can Google how to fix your credit, how to do this, how to do that, right? And you'll have a bunch of sticky notes everywhere. If you want to use a course, right, you can do this with Apple, or you can do this with, an Android, is actually have something that looks like this, where let's say you wanted to go into your course. All I'd have to do is essentially just tap on the little app, and then I'm in. And so now you have somebody that is a expert, and I'm going to clarify expert in a minute, in an industry where you can get all the data in one spot. So now we just tap on that. We can log into our course, and it makes it simple. So when we're talking about average income, we were talking about $52,000 a year. You'd only have to sell one course every 14 days. Once you create your course, one course every 14 days, and you'd make more money than somebody who puts in 40 hours.
So, I mean, I could keep my normal 9 to 5 at 52,000 average, sell some courses, and then boom, all of a sudden I'm at 6 figures.
100%. And I would certainly 1,000% do that. I'm not telling anybody right now, like, hey, go fire your boss or go get fired by not showing up because you're creating your course. What I would like to see is people adding an extra skill to their life, right? And this is a high paying skill because you can create a course and literally make $2,000 off of it. That's a low end. I mean, there's courses out there right now that are $15,000. The value has to exceed the cost, right? And so in order to make money in a course, the value has to be higher than the cost. So if not, it's a no, right? And so when your price is higher than the value of the course to a person, then people are going to say no. But if the value is higher, then they're going to say yes to that course.
So when you're talking about a 620%, 28% increase in digital courses, it's almost like getting on cryptocurrency when it first started. That would have been nuts. You'd be a billionaire by now. So when we're talking about that, we're saying that, hey, an average person makes 52,000. If I were to get into courses and see a 628% increase, that's something I'd absolutely want to do, but I wouldn't even know where to begin, right? So I think my last check for your subscriber base on your social media platforms, you're right about 500,000 subscribers. I mean, how would I even begin to market myself like that?
Yeah. So right now, the biggest thing that stops people from creating a course is they believe they have to be an expert in a space. And so the reality is, in order to create a course, you really only have to know a little bit more than somebody else in that space. But what's stopping people is they're like, I don't know where to market it to. I think people don't have a problem with creating a course. I think it's that they feel that once they create it, they don't know how to share it with the world. And the reality is, you could have the best product in the world, but if you have the best product on the world sitting on a shelf and not selling anything, then it's a useless product. So in order to market it, there's a couple different things that I think are going to be real gems for our listeners. One of the things that I would do is I would immediately start a YouTube channel. This is completely organic. And I gained hundreds of thousands of people. We grew the fastest credit channel ever because of a couple things that I'm going to share with you. But creating a YouTube channel is free. It's a free, organic, right? So for our listeners listening, the difference between organic and paid. Organic means no cost associated to it. It's just your time. Paid traffic, Facebook, Instagram, Google, Microsoft ads, Bing. These are paid. You can do paid or you can do organic. The organic just essentially just means that you're making posts, and you can do this on Facebook and Instagram as well, but you're making posts that are going to your subscribers or to your followers, but it's not going to everybody. So it's not paid traffic. So it's a little bit less saturated. Okay. So what I would do immediately is I would start a YouTube channel, right? Some things you want to know about a YouTube channel is consistency. It's like watching a TV show. If you knew that every Sunday, for example, let's say since we're in football season, that every Sunday at 1 p.m., I know the Bills are going to play. And I go to watch the Bills on Sunday at 1 p.m. next week, and the show's off. TV station literally isn't playing. Like, what's going on? Why is my TV why? I want to watch my Bills. I've been waiting all week. How come it's not doing it? Same thing with YouTube. YouTube works like this. When you say you're going to be there, you better be there. And one of the things that I grew the fastest YouTube channel was because I said, I come to you every single day. And without a shadow of a doubt, every single day I'm putting up a video. Now, in fact, we're doing 2 videos a day. So it's consistency is the key to YouTube. If you say you're going to be there, people are expecting you to be there at that time and that date. And if you can't be there for that time and that date, don't say, I'm coming to you once a week or Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If you can't do it, don't say it. If you can do it, which is much more powerful, make sure you tell them, I'm going to be coming to you Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or I'm going to come to you every week, or I'm going to come to you every single day. Say it, commit to it, and make sure you're there, because people are your listeners and your subscribers are waiting for you there. So that's how we grow our YouTube channel. That's the first thing I would do. I would actually go to Core. Core is a great thing. Have you heard of Core?
No, what's Core?
So Core is it's another website that you could go to for information. So it's like a big blog type of service. Okay. So Quora, I believe it's spelled. And so you want to go there and you can type in Quora.com, and basically you'll see a thread of people just asking questions. You can type in search bar, whatever course you're creating, and you can just type in that subject line, credit questions. And literally you can get people that are like literally just asking about credit. What do I do here? What do I do here? You go there and you can just start adding value to those people. Same thing with Facebook. There's a section in Facebook where you can go to and start adding yourself to groups. I'd be adding myself to every credit group possible, because what it is, it's free marketing. It's organic, not paid. You go there, start adding information in. Like if I went to Facebook group credit, right? You're going to see a bunch of different credit groups. Then you got to get approved. So you have to just basically register and say, hey, I want to be part of your group. And they're going to make sure that you don't post, like they don't want you to market there, right? So the idea is what you want to do is you want to basically lead with value. Don't ever put your link. Don't ever put your website. Don't ever put your phone number. Just lead with value. Answer questions for people. Go through. People are asking questions. Just answer it. And then the cool thing about it is people are going to start saying, why is Mike doing this? Why is he putting this much value out? Let me see what he's doing. And then they're going to go back to your page, which you have to have a Facebook page about your business. And they are going to start following you there. And that's how you get organic business it doesn't cost you a penny. Phenomenal way to actually start selling your course without same thing with YouTube. No money. I'd go instantly. I would go to Quora. I would go to Facebook groups, and I would start with the YouTube channel immediately, fast as possible. 450,000 followers in 15 months. It's a $5 to $7 million revenue. It's $500 to $700 million a year off of YouTube alone.
Wow. So now you made a comment earlier about expert, right? And I kind of want to go back into that. So a lot of people, when they're marketing themselves or marketing their products, they feel like they don't know everything that there is to know about the product, and that might stop them from doing it. So what's your take on that?
Yeah. So when I say you don't have to be an expert, I'm essentially saying that you just need to know a little bit more than somebody else. So what I would recommend is if you guys aren't part of the credit game, I'd get in, get the education, specifically get the education. I put 40,000 hours into credit education for you to have everything you need to know. Remember, the credit game itself was built for me. It wasn't built for you guys. It wasn't built for the listeners, the people that are following me here on YouTube and social medias and platforms. I built it for me. I documented every process along the way, made sure that I figured out everything from where I was at a 515 to today at 831, and everything in between is inside this course. So what I would do is leverage somebody who's already done something, right? In order to be successful in life, you want to duplicate success. That's why I say success leaves clues. The first thing I would do is I would get into my courses, start watching the courses. As soon as you go through the course, now you know more than 99.9% of the people who are talking about getting credit. Because most people don't know much about credit. They just think, oh, if I just remove a couple negatives, I'm good. If I just add a trade line, I'm good. But what they don't know is credit education. And this is the biggest problem. If I told you that you were going to go to court and you were looking at 5 years in prison, would you want to have a public defender with you? Or would you want to have someone like, Johnny Cochran with you?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right? If you have somebody by your side who's a beast, if you walked in with Johnny Cochran and you're looking at 5 years, you're going to get a slap on the wrist. Don't ever do that again. You walk in a public defender, they're going to sell you down the river. Same thing with credit. You walk in with somebody like myself who knows almost every single thing and every intricate part of credit. And the credit education I built, the teacher, me myself, that I put together for you, now you're walking in with an expert. Go through the course, watch it, read it. Now you are essentially an expert and you know more than 99% of people. So now what stops people is they feel like, I can't create this course because, I wonder if I'm going to know or not. Or they think this. Here's another one. Most people think if I just don't have a high credit score, how could I teach people on credit if my credit score is not 800? Huge mistake. I built the entire course with a 516 credit score.
You had to make mistakes, and then you learn from the mistakes.
So when you look at the progress of how I built the credit game, I didn't have an 831 credit score when I built it. But what people think is I have to be an expert at it, a real expert. I can never teach somebody something if I'm not a pro at it. Right? You're going to take advice from somebody who makes $20 million a year or from a teacher at a college who's making $40,000 a year. On business.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. It's like, most people are scared because they don't know where to start. So I just told you the place you want to market it. You have a 600% growth on courses. And that would be like you giving the example, like you just said. If I told you that you can buy the stock for Uber, if I can go back 5 years from now and I could told you right now, I said, hey, Brock, you can get Uber right now and you can pick it up for $100 a share. And I told you that right now.
Sign me up.
I want every single. I want 1,000 stocks. That's what I'm trying to tell you now. Fast forward for the next 3 years. That's me going back now and telling you how important it is for you to get into courses. because that right there over the next 36 months is going to be the growth. And then the last thing you want to do is wait 36 months and then find out later. Mike told me 3 years ago that I should have done this, but I didn't. I didn't do it because I sat on the sidelines while everybody else became millionaires. And right now, 2,200 millionaires per day in America. That's how many millionaires are being created right now. 2,200 a day right here in the United States.
Wow.
It's a lot of created. So when you have 2,200 new people doing it, there's obviously something that they're doing. Two things they're doing. The top two things: real estate number one, digital number two. Top two creations of millionaires right now, every single day in the world.
So, Mike, before we conclude here, I want you to share with us your mission and vision for the credit game.
Yeah. So when I started to create it, when I started the credit game, I thought, the vision would be that I want to help millions of families across the world to live a better life because they understood the credit game. Once you understand that it's a game and you learn how to play it, the quality of your life increases. I've been on both sides of the coin. I've been on the side where I was at a 515, broke mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, credit, financial, everything. And I know what it feels like to have bad credit. I can walk in your shoes and tell you, like, this is what it feels like. You're getting denied for everything, high interest rates, highest down payments, scared to apply. I know how that feels.
Oh, it's terrible.
I was getting denied for places that said no credit check. I know what that feels like. And I've been on the side with the 831 side and having a lot of money. I've been on both sides. I can tell you, anybody who tells you that this side is not better gave up on themselves way down here. That's usually what happens. People give up on themselves. You're taking advice from people who gave up on themselves, which is a bad mistake. When you get people to tell you money don't make you happy, or freedom's not good, or rich people are evil, or money don't grow on trees, or
never seen anybody frown on a sea-doo before. So
right. How many times do people? Exactly. I mean, and usually it's because they never had any money, right? So they're giving advice from something they never had. And usually when they give up on themselves, it tends to, again, it's like taking advice from, somebody about business who's making $30,000 a year because they teach at a college. They're trying to teach you business and you're trying to go to $20 to $50 million, right? So
it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. If they've never done it, you can't take advice from it. So to answer your question, my advice for the listeners here is that I would keep my 9 to 5 until my earned income, which is at your 9 to 5, is lower than your income from your side hustle. So once your side hustle increases higher than your earned, that's when it's time to make the transition. But what you don't want to do is let go of the first flow, because the average income of an entrepreneur is $41,000. So it's actually, employment is actually higher income than self-employment. $58,000 average income for employment, $41,000 for self-employment. So why, you're asking me this question, like, why would somebody want to go to self-employment when it's higher for employment? You have to factor in all the little small mop-off shops, the little haircutteries, the little, spaghetti meatball restaurants, and, the massage therapists. These are all self-employments, right? These are people that, that decide to open up their own company. They're making $30,000 to $50,000 a year. Normal, right? It's normal self-employment. For digital world, what I'm talking about, well over 6 figures. You do this, it's a well over 6-figure income for you. If you do this right, it's a 7 or an 8-figure income for you. But you have to know where to get started. And so one of the things that I want to teach, and one of the things that I am teaching, is that we're doing a live event. So essentially what I'm teaching is how to make $15 million in 15 months. So our live event is going to cover everything from my journey from February 10th, 2020, all the way up to today, and every step along the process. So I know a lot of people think that I have to be a computer nerd, or I got to be a geek, or I got to be, this techie person to start a course. All that goes away at the live event. The reason being is because at the live event, I'm not only going to teach you how to do your YouTube, I'm not even going to teach you how to do your course, but I'm going to actually do the course for you. So when you go there, we're actually going to build out your course for you, because that's what stops a lot of people, is they don't know where to start, how to build it out. So there at the event, we're building it for you. And we're going to be doing videos. I'm going to show you the YouTube tricks, the taxes, the secrets, the things you need to know about YouTube. But really the main thing is going to be actually helping you create the course for you. Because once it's created, it's easy to show you how to go out there and sell it. Because once you have it created, now it's just about the fun part is actually like, how do we get it to the world so we can showcase our product that we just built? There's so many different ways you can do that. So.
Well, that's awesome, man. I mean, Mike, you sold me. Let's go.
Well, let's go.
Where's it at?
Great, man. But what a lot of people, because you got to remember, America is security. People want security. And so with security, low risk. They don't have to market. They go somewhere. They know the marketing is done for them. They get a paycheck. You're never going to get wealthy getting a paycheck every single day. The people that get paychecks, right, for the employment, unless you have a side hustle, you're never going to become wealthy getting a paycheck every week. This is right out at Robert Kiyosaki. I mean, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Someone who gets a paycheck every single week can never become really wealthy because they're capped. They're capped at the limited amount of money they can make. So, and it scares a lot of people because 95 to 98% of America is wired. Go to school, get a job, go to college, get a job, get a career, get a paycheck, pay taxes. After you pay your taxes, whatever money's left over, you can invest a little bit. If you got a little bit, if not, you're living paycheck to paycheck. Remember, 76% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck.
Right. Well, I mean, we've been being told that ever since we were kids. Hey, what is it? Save a penny, earn a penny. So
penny saved is
that's it.
Penny earned.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the same. It's the same thing over and over again that we're just kind of just ingrained in our brain.
So how are you ever going to become wealthy if you're getting a paycheck? Well, you're not, unless you can figure out a way to get a side hustle. So when I say side hustle, I mean, I'm giving you an opportunity to be somewhere at this live event where you're going to have the side hustle essentially created for you. You come into this live event that I'm doing next month and September 10th and 11th, and you're going to walk out of there with something that you can tangibly have to go, you know what? Now I just want to go out there and share it with the world and really start getting paid for it. And you're going to be coming into a wave of an opportunity that over the next 36 months, it's going to blow your mind. Remember, you only got to sell one course every 2 weeks to make more than the average person makes every year. One course.
That's nuts. Tell me what you guys are thinking about doing at this live event.
This is going to be the first ever live event where most people, right, these gurus will tell you, hey, 600% growth, digital, you need to go digital. But what they're not telling you is how to actually create the course. Most important thing is most people get stumbled because they don't know what they're doing when it comes to the course. They don't know how to start, where to start, what content to use, where they get the content from. At the live event, this will be the first ever live event where we're not even going to tell you like, hey, you need to create a course and you're going to leave there like with some kind of cheerleader, we're going to rah-rah, ooh, yeah. Now, this is actually like, you're going to leave there. And while we're there, we're actually creating the course for you and helping you line by line create your course. So when you walk out of there, you have a tangible product that literally can sell almost immediately. And I'm going to help you with your YouTubes. I'm actually going to do a few YouTube videos for people at the live event. So I think we're down to like, I don't know if you noticed the statistics on, but I think we're down to the last couple seats on this.
Yeah.
So with the few seats that we have left, guys, there is a link inside the bio below. You're going to see a link for the live event. If you want to call the office to get more information about the live event, do that please at 904-420-7772. If you just want to go and say, hey, look, I want to get a ticket. I've heard enough. This makes sense. Which I'm telling you with a 600% growth, if you don't take advantage of this, you're just going to watch the 40 people that are coming to this live event. You're going to watch them get in the game and be successful, and you're going to sit on the sidelines and wish you would have done it. Nobody is teaching you how to do a course and then actually doing it for you at an event. It just never happened before. So if you want to get a ticket, we're down to our last couple seats. I want to say there's 3 or 4 left at this moment. Click the link below. You're going to see the little in the bio, you'll see the link for the landing page. You can do there. Or if you actually want to talk to one of our consultants, call us at 904-420-7772, and they'll be able to walk you through, give you details, and get you into the live event.
Awesome. Well, as always, Mike, hey, thanks for coming out. Thanks for joining us, dropping some bombs. And guys, we will catch you on the next one.